Okay, here's the question. Would you be upset if I lend my jacket to a female friend? She said she's cold.
Okay.
I think you're getting upset already.
Is she getting hypothermia? Like, yeah, she can go inside.
Well, the situation is we are hanging together having like barbecue outside. There's really nowhere to go inside. I mean, if there was somewhere to go inside, you don't want to let your friend just go inside because she said she's cold.
Is it? Oh, wait, is it my friend too?
Not really. You just met her.
Oh, okay. But am I aware of your relationship? Like your friendship, I mean.
Yes.
Like I've known her even before this barbecue. Like I've met her a couple of times before.
Does it matter?
It can matter. I think it's like if you feel like you're included in this friendship, even though technically you guys were friends first before you met me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I've been kind of included into like the friend group.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not like something that's happening all of a sudden where it kind of leaves a gap, you know, like uncertainty or like unclearness of me like almost questioning how close you guys are. That's where it gets a little weird, I think. Because like, let's say you've not mentioned this friend of yours at all, and she pops up like, oh, this is my friend from, you know, whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they haven't seen each other in a while or something. Yeah, and all of a sudden, she's like, I'm cold. And then you're like, oh, here, take my jacket. It does catches my attention. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Are they a lot closer than I think? Or were they close? Really close? Like, is there some history there?
Okay, so if you know that I have been friends with her for a long time and you just met her at the barbecue party, would you be upset?
I don't think I would be upset. Again, personally, I think I would rather maybe, let's say if you're wearing a jacket that I got you or there's some meaning behind it.
Does it matter?
I feel like it does. I think probably, you know, we're kind of generalizing right now, but I think in general, the reason why we kind of react differently on who's wearing what is not because it's the action, but also kind of like the meaning the jacket holds. It's kind of personal too. It's a jacket that I've given you. There's some memory like I got for you when we were on this specific trip, and to see someone else wearing it, yeah, I mean, it really depends. If they are like wearing it and like thinking of taking it home with them and like not returning it, I think it could bother me. Or they're not being careful with it either. Like they're eating like freaking barbecue and it's just like meat splatter or like sauce splatter onto a nice jacket. I'm like, okay, like my problem is lending people stuff in general. I'm okay with that as long as you maintain it the way of how I gave it to you. Keep it in good condition as if it's your own. But if it's like just an object to them.
So is it about the cleanliness?
It's not about the cleanliness. It's just about how they are handling it.
But if you know that she's like clean freak, so you know for sure that she's gonna take care of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if she's not gonna toss it on the side and she kind of just like keeps it, you know, next to her. She knows that someone's lending it to her and like it's like in their conscious mind that, oh, this is not my item and it probably means something to them.
So it's not out of jealousy?
It could be too, depending on who, right? It really depends. Like if it's someone that, yeah, like I said, it's not even a close friend, just someone that you've met recently and all of a sudden you hand over a jacket, I think it's a little too intimate or personal in a way.
I understand if I lend my jacket to a total stranger who I just met on the day. I totally understand you would be not really liking it.
Yeah, I would be bothered. I would be lying if I'm not bothered at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But what if it's girlfriend of my friend?
How come he's not lending his jacket to his girlfriend?
He's shivering.
He's shivering too. So
Yes.
they're both cold.
Right, somehow.
If they're both like really struggling, then I'm sure your friend will be really appreciative if you were to lend your jacket at least to his girlfriend so she's not dying.
I think you will lend your jacket to the girl and then you will wear my jacket.
Yeah, I mean, that could work too. Yeah, if she's struggling, I'll be fine with that, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. But on the flip side, let's say if I'm the one who's shivering out in the cold, like I forgot my jacket, it's like in the car, but it's like so far out, we're all camping or something. I'm cold, you don't have an extra layer, you're pretty much like just wearing one layer like me. Would it bother you if, let's say, a friend of yours lends a jacket to me?
I will really appreciate it.
Even if I just met them
Yeah, you said it's my friend.
Yeah, your friend. You know them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, take my jacket.
Yeah, if I don't have any jacket
Yeah.
to lend you,
Yeah.
I'll ask my friend to lend jacket to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you're cold.
What if it's a friend of your friend and you just met him at that barbecue? I just met him at the barbecue. We don't really know him. It's the first time we've seen his person. Would you be comfortable if he were to lend a jacket to me?
Yes.
Really? Even though you don't really know him?
Yeah. Of course, I will not really ask him or force him to lend the jacket to you
right.
because I'm not really close to him. But I would really appreciate if he's willing to lend the jacket to you.
What if he doesn't know that we are dating? Do you think that will change the meaning a little bit? He thinks it's just a group of friends hanging out, or like he doesn't really know who's together or who's not. You kind of see him like kind of chatting with me, kind of like having small talk here and there. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I'm so cold. And you are kind of off to the side just looking at us. And he's like, oh yeah, take my jacket. And it puts it around my shoulder. Is that going to be a problem?
If I didn't see any sign from him that he is interested in you,
Yeah.
I think that's totally fine. I will appreciate it.
Well, even if it's not like obvious signs of him flirting, it's just being a nice person, kind of polite. You're just like casually getting to know someone. But you also don't know if there's interest or not. They could be interested still, right? They're not like outwardly flirtatious. Like let's say you're just all mingling. You're like, hey, what's your name? I'm Liz, and you're blah 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 blah. And like, what do you do? And then you can see from like your peripherals, like, oh, they're having a good conversation. They seem to be connecting like on common thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like shivering. He's like, oh, are you cold? And just like takes off the jacket and puts it around me without me being able to say like yes or no.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm trying to sway you to say no.
I mean, it's working kind of.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I think I have answered that. As soon as I see him giving the jacket to you, I'll just say thank you to him.
Oh, from the other side.
Yeah, thanks, Phil.
And
And
he'll be
Phil will be like, oh, okay, she's his girlfriend. Or I'll just walk up to you and pet your booty or something.
Okay. Do you think the manner of giving the jacket is also important? You can just pass the jacket, hand it over to them, and they can figure out how to wear it, or actually helping them put on the jacket.
Yeah, it'd be weird if he, as a total stranger, put the jacket around your shoulder or something like that.
That's like if you are both single or flirting and he does that move that's pretty smooth, like without her responding or asking.
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, I would say, oh yeah, if you are courting each other, right, great. Good for you. She likes you too. Perfect. Yeah. But
between like just total friends or between kind of relatively strangers, putting the jacket around in person, I think it's weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If I am lending my jacket to a friend who is female, I'll just toss it.
She catches it her face.
Yeah, just hand it over. I will never put the jacket around your shoulder.
Yeah, right. This also leads into another question I thought about because I know it's like a huge hot topic in Korea about
sesame leaf.
Yeah.
I saw on YouTube that it's not really sesame leaf, but it's perilla leaf. Anyway, Korean side dish, perilla leaf. They really stick together, so it's really hard to separate.
And it's thin.
It's thin, so it requires really delicate
master chopstick skills.
Yes, chopstick skills.
Yeah.
Even for Koreans, it's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's really helpful if someone else help you do that by putting their chopsticks to keep other leaves,
the layers below it from
the top one. So there's a huge debate.
Can you share like both sides?
So we are having, let's say, lunch with friends. And there is a female friend of mine. When she was trying to get the leaf out of the stack of leaves, I helped her so she can easily detach the top layer leaf out of the whole stack. And you, as my girlfriend, there are people that say you should be upset about it because it's a little like really intimate actions. Saying you can just let her figure out or let her do it by herself.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there is a group of people that's saying, that's not a big deal. Just helping a friend out. So my take is not a big deal. Yeah, it's just helping a friend out. Hey, you're not sharing chapsticks or something.
You're not like feeding them directly.
No. Yeah, if it's like feeding her.
Like you like make a roll and like just shove it in their mouth.
It's gotta be weird.
Yeah. I agree. It's not gonna bother me. I think because we're sharing a meal.
Yeah.
It's communal, and if you see them obviously struggling to like take a layer off. Yeah. I mean, anyone would be like, oh, without a second thought, just find a way to help them make it easier.
Right.
And maybe you want to grab one too, right? You're like, dude, just take the lead. Like, okay, let me help you. And like,
Yeah, it's just out of kindness.
I agree. I don't think it's gonna really bother me. What if, let's say, again, same scenario, we're all eating together, large group party. You meet a mixed match of people. Some people you know, some people you don't, right? Let's say you and I are kind of sitting together with some other random folks that we are not really close with. We met them for the first time that day as well. A guy, right? And he sees me kind of like being derpy and clumsy, trying to grab something. It keeps slipping off my chopstick. You didn't see it at first. Yeah, I couldn't grab it. It's like, and then he kind of picks up his own chopstick, grabs the food, and puts it in my bowl.
Oh.
Like we're having hot pot, for example, or barbecue. And I'm trying to grab like a piece of garlic and, that kind of slips a little bit. Yeah, I couldn't grab it. And he sees it. And so he takes his chopstick, grab it, and puts it in from across the table. I see your lips.
Yes, it would bother me a little.
Yeah.
And I'll just do the same thing. Thanks, man. It's gotta be fucking weird.
Yeah.
So saying thanks gonna make me look petty.
A little possessive.
Too jealous.
Bitter, yeah.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't say anything, right?
No, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah. Would you tell me like you were bothered by it?
Not in kind of really angry way.
Yeah.
But I'll just tell you later that I think he was kind of a little interested in you, and I'll just jokingly ask it. Like, okay. Probably I'll just keep asking.
Yeah.
Another 3 days.
Yeah. You'll be like, oh, I bet you were happy when he did that for you.
I bet you were dating.
Okay, interesting.
So parallel debate. That's not even a question to me.
It's tricky. Anyone will struggle with that without a second person's help.
So back to the jacket conversation, and based on the answers you gave me so far, would you be bothered if I lend my jacket to my friends that you know?
No. Now that we're talking about it, I think it really depends on the mannerisms, like how you're handing it to them. Like, yeah, I think it's all gonna be fine, really. But it's like the whole effort of like taking off the jacket, putting it on her shoulders, and I turn her around, like zip it up.
I don't even do it to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, okay, there's more to that than putting on a jacket. Okay, I think we sort of have a conclusion, right? It's a tricky one. I'd be curious to see, like, hear what your opinions are and where you stand, whether you're bothered by it and like overall or you're not, and reasons to why, because of the meaning of the jacket. I know a lot of girls love wearing like their boyfriend's clothes too. It's like because it's comfortable and it's the boyfriend's. You get like their essence and like the smell of it. It's like in a way you're close to them when they're not there, right? So that whole thought of him sharing clothes with another person that's not you, it's like that's where it gets a little weird.
Because as a guy, I don't really know that type of sentiment, because as a guy, it's pretty rare to wear girlfriend clothes.
Oh yeah, of course.
So.
Yeah. So I don't think it's because it's just they are stingy about lending a piece of clothing. It's like about the meaning and the sentiment and who they are sharing it with, how they're sharing it.
That makes sense. Good learning to me as well. Because I have never felt that. Because I don't wear your clothes.
I think you do. That's fine. This is fine.
That's true.
But I wear your clothes not as often.
You don't like my style.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.